Hey everyone, today I thought I'd show you guys this 2020 BMW 3 Series. I really like the color of this car. It's got a really nice, like, striking blue color to it. I love the look of these headlights, and I prefer this grille over the post-refresh model. I really like these wheels too. As you can see, like, the car unlocks when I get near it. That's kind of cool. As you can see, it is a 330i. It does have the X-Drive all-wheel drive. Show you guys the back really quick. Back seat room is a little bit tight, but it's doable. It's not too bad. I could sit back here just fine. It's not going to give you like family sedan levels of space, but I could sit back here just fine. But I'll show you guys the trunk space really quick. As you can see, it's not like the biggest trunk, but you know, you could fit stuff in there. It's not small, but it's not like the biggest you'll find either. The seats do fold down. If you just pull these little things, they'll fold down flat, so that's pretty nice. Close it up here, and I'll show you guys under the hood real quick. As with BMWs, you have to pull the hood latch 2 times and the hood just lifts right up. And this is a 2-liter turbo making 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. It's a pretty powerful engine, and it sounds really good. As you guys probably know, with BMWs, they do like pipe in engine noise, but I think they do a good job with it, and I like the sound of it. It makes it sound better than your average 4-cylinder engine. But we're gonna close up the hood here. We're gonna hop in this thing, show you guys what it's like. We'll start up. The start button is right here. As you can see, you get your LCD screen right here. You can go through here and select like your media sources. You can also do like voice commands like set climate to 65.
Turn on the climate control beforehand.
Oh, well, but you guys get the idea. I'm honestly like not sure like if you can configure this screen. I haven't really found any way to change this whole screen, but it is still cool to look at, and it shows your map right in the middle right there. Gives you your drive mode. You have Sport, Comfort, Eco, Pro. I usually leave it in Sport. I just think that's the best drive mode. Perfectly suits this car. You do have your infotainment system, so you have your media. Basically like your different media sources you choose from right here. You can go home. The touch response is pretty good. As you can see, very competitive. This whole screen is very high quality looking. You can go into car right here. You get your driving information, like trip data. I could go on and on about this infotainment system. I mean, there's so much in here. This is kind of interesting. You get your carrying car right here, so you can put on like a relaxation program. So I'm gonna turn on the climate control, and it even like, it'll close the sunroof for you. It'll set the temperature to a specific setting, and it actually like plays relaxing music for you. That's kind of cool. It's a neat trick. Definitely interesting. But if you want to end it, you just end the program and everything goes back to the way it was. But yeah, you also get your owner's manual. In here you have your apps, you have your personal assistant. This is basically like, I believe this is the voice control. You have your BMW assist. This is like basically like roadside assistance. BMW messages, you have your news, which is pretty interesting. Let me go to that real quick, and you can see you can scroll through news right here. Very interesting. You also have your weather. We can check that out. As you can see, that's what it looks like. Also, like, Park Mobile is installed on here. That's pretty cool. You also have your Nav system. Let me go to that real quick. This is what the nav looks like. It's pretty responsive, definitely. Just kind of slide your finger around and the map moves pretty well. Very nice screen right here. You do have your climate controls right here. Pretty simple. You got heated seats, 3 level. Down here, these are your radio controls. You don't have a tuning knob, you just have these seek track buttons. Right here you have your shifter, kind of an odd looking shifter. To go in reverse, you push the button and push up, and you can see you get a pretty nice backup camera. And if you want to go into drive, you just push the button and push back, and that puts you in drive. A little click up is in neutral, and if you want to go to manual mode, just slide it over while you're in drive, and you can upshift or downshift or use the paddles. That's pretty nice. And to put it in park, you just push this button and the shifter slides into park. Pretty nice. Here you have your little scroll wheel right here, and this is also used to control the screen. You have your electronic parking brake. You can put it on or turn it off. Your drive modes right here. Basically your traction control off, parking sensors off, and auto start stop off. In here you have a pretty tiny center console, actually. Not very deep, but you do get a USB-C and a standard USB. Pretty nice. And you also have your glove box. Pretty decent size, about average. We're gonna get this thing out on the road and see how it drives. Gonna give you guys my honest opinion on it. And all right, here we go. Seatbelt kind of snugs you in place when you get going. And right off the bat, this car does feel kind of like classic BMW. Has like a nice sporty steering feel. It's nicely weighted, and but it's very smooth in how it responds too. It's just got a really balanced feel to it. Really smooth, really balanced, and really responsive kind of character. And you can also like feel the road a little bit in the steering. It's definitely a more communicative electric power steering feel than I've felt in other cars that I've been in. It's got a really nice like point shoot nature to it. It's kind of darty, but it's not like it's jerky or anything. The steering ratio feels very smooth and very linear. But yeah, as you can, let's try giving it some gas here. This car really gets up and goes. It doesn't even feel like you're going nearly as fast as you actually are. It's pretty crazy. I mean, you always feel like you're going like 30 miles an hour less than you actually are in this thing. It feels like a real sports sedan. I know the last generation 3 Series got like a lot of complaints for it not feeling like sporty, but I can say like this definitely does feel sporty. It feels nice and premium. BMW is kind of known for like delivering a sporty yet luxurious experience in their cars, and this is no exception. This definitely feels this definitely has a nice smooth ride to it. It's definitely a very luxurious feeling car, but it's also a driver's car. It's also something that you can take on a back road and have some fun in. So definitely like this 3 Series a lot. As for the engine, it's got really smooth power to it. Just a really nice smooth power delivery, and it's got like really good torque in the low RPM range. Yeah, just like very like silky smooth. One of the most refined like 4 cylinders I've ever driven, if I'm honest. Yeah, it really wants to get up and move. I mean, 255 horsepower, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I think this car feels peppy. It has nearly 300 pound-feet of torque, and it definitely feels nice and quick. It feels fun to ring out. Feels fun to launch this car. So I think this will provide like enthusiast levels of power for most people. I couldn't even imagine what the Performance M model must feel like, because This feels plenty stable. It feels plenty assured, plenty quick. Like, honestly, I would just get the 330i if I was gonna get this car. I would be happy with it. This car has all the features I could want. This car drives very well, and it's fun to just kind of throw it around. It's got really, I mean, those tracks right there, barely felt those. This car has such a smooth ride to it. We're gonna take this little bend right here. Very grounded handling, really not a whole lot of body lean or anything like that. We're gonna step up. These brakes are nice and responsive. They kind of bite down immediately, which I like. And I just love ringing this car out. This 8-speed automatic shifts so smoothly. One of the smoothest shifting automatics, just buttery smooth, just snaps into gear, shifts nice and quickly, and always gives you the exact gear that you want. It really reads your mind. It really listens to your foot. It does what you want it to do. Take this other little corner right here. As you can see, just very assured handling, very confidence inspiring. Gonna try the paddle shifters, downshift a little bit. Does work pretty well. Does respond like pretty quickly. I believe this does have the M Sport package, because this does have some M logos on it. It's been a little bit controversial that BMW does that for a non-M car. I myself, like, I don't want like a fake M badge if I don't have an M car, but the steering wheel looks nice. It just adds some nice touches to it. Again, these brakes, they're very smooth and they're very responsive. They feel nice and powerful, and the car stops very smoothly. As for the accelerator, has a great response. Just like, it's tuned like just right. Really, like, the engine just feels like connected with your foot, if that makes sense. Perfectly tuned, really no other way to describe it. Nice and responsive. Try out the handling again here. Handles like it's on rails, honestly. Really, I'm hard pressed to find a car that handles quite like this. I know I usually like rate the handling of the cars I drive as pretty good, but this car is definitely like above the rest, I think. This car definitely handles like no other sedan that I've driven. Other cars make a good effort at delivering a sporty experience, but I feel like nobody does it quite like BMW. I mean, it's just so balanced. It feels so good. Just like tearing through these back roads, it feels so nice. Really, I don't think you can go wrong with a 3 Series. I mean, they're not the most reliable from what I've heard. You'd probably want to lease one and not actually buy one, but I just love this car so much. After driving it, I really want one. Some cars I test drive and I legitimately want them after I drive them, and I don't want to give them back. This is one of those cars. I'm gonna be really sad when I have to give this back because I've liked it so much. I've liked it so much. I mean, you feel like a baller driving a BMW, and it feels so nice. Drives so well. Really nice shifts from that 8-speed. It's a nice firm steering too. It doesn't feel artificial to me. This steering feels, you know, it's kind of like leaning more towards like classic BMW. I've driven a few older BMWs and I can tell they made an effort to make this steering feel like that. And they did a good job, honestly, for an electric power steering. This communicates well. I should probably slow down a little bit here. Like I said with this car, it always feels like you're going slower than you actually are. That's just how this car is. It's just got such an assured handling dynamic to it. Very nice growl to the 4-cylinder. As I said, BMW tends to pipe in the engine noise, and I think it sounds good. I do like how the engine sounds, and I think they did a good job at like the piping in of the engine noise. I think it's pretty satisfying to listen to. I like how these turn signals stay in place when you use them. BMWs of the past, the turn signal would always go back to center and it would be annoying, but they finally got it right with this, so that's good.
Good morning. What can I help you with?
Really grips the road so nicely. It's pretty incredible. This is always like a good spot to test out the ride. We're gonna try that now. And yeah, good ride. It feels like pretty nice. Really just glides down the road, feels very firm and very grounded as it does. We are going to take this thing on the highway. Go around this little ramp right here. Just a joy to drive fast in this. I mean, it really is. Doesn't have a whole lot at the top end, but it still gets right up and goes without any real problems or issues. Gets right up to highway speeds without any fuss whatsoever. It's nice and quiet in here. Not dead silent, but still like fairly impressive. I do like the sound isolation in this. And we're gonna try out the passing power. Transmission just responds so quick. Car gets right up and goes, just wants to play. But we're gonna take this exit here. I look like a classic BMW driver right now. We are going to do a little brake check coming up right here. These brakes, they're so refined. I love them. So I'll take it back on the highway here. Has more than enough at the low end. Just feels really good at the low end, honestly. We're gonna do our little cloverleaf off ramp here and see how it handles. Better than a lot of cars I drive, definitely. Just no wheel spin, no squealing, no nothing. Really does it well. Just loves to zip around. Loves to zip around. I don't know why BMW gets so much flack these days. I think this car is great. I'm gonna try the paddle shifters again right here. So I'm gonna like downshift. They are so quick to respond. One of the quickest I've tested. It's kind of instantaneous. They're definitely nice to use. I would use these, to be honest, if I wanted to have a little more fun. These paddles are nice. And this engine just roars up to speed. I love it. I love it. We're gonna put it in comfort mode. I don't like comfort mode that much. It just kind of dulls everything back. The steering immediately gets light. It has less communication too, I feel like. And the accelerator isn't as responsive, and the transmission is kind of dulled back. I'm not even gonna try Eco Pro because that's just gonna make this car feel miserable. So I'll put it back in sport mode. These seats are really like thickly bolstered. They really hug you in place. The leather is a little bit on the hard side, actually. I kind of like the leather where you feel like you can slide around. This leather is kind of sticky when you sit in it, and you can't really like slide around that well in them. But they're still very comfortable seats, and I still like them. They're just kind of on the hard side, I would say. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Pretty sure I talked about everything with this 330i. So we're just gonna turn in this little parking lot here. But just fun to zip around in this, like I said. All right, I'm just gonna park it right here. This seems like a good spot. Nobody's here. All right, you guys, that is the BMW 3 Series. Really nice ride to it. Great firm handling, great steering, really peppy engine, very smooth engine, and really smooth 8-speed automatic. A very well-rounded car, honestly. Very good driver's car. Has a nice balance of luxuriousness and sportiness to it, as BMW has always had. But we're gonna hop out here. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.